So I believe very firmly that if we do all five, we will be in top five.
In part 2 of the AMA deep dive with CEO Kris, Kris made some bold statements about Zero going to top 5. But he said a lot more here. So guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only Coin Baron, and recently we've been following this AMA with Kris Marszalek talking about the mint of a 70 billion additional Zero tokens, which is definitely controversial, but CEO Kris is definitely an opponent of this new strategy. So let's listen to what he has to say about this.
I'm fully supportive of this. I think this is going to be a reset for Cronos, and it's going to create a completely different kind of momentum. I think this is the gist of my views on this somewhat controversial proposal. I would also like to believe that if you look at this long term, even the people who voted against it, after a couple of quarters or maybe a year or maybe 2 years, they will look back at this point and will agree that this was actually done in the best interest of the community and everybody benefited. And I suggest you guys just look at the calendar today. We've got 25th of March, set a reminder for 25th next year and hold me to account if results are not delivered.
I do love the confidence of Kris here talking about higher prices in 2026. So personally, I set my alarms for the 25th of March 2026 to check if the price is really higher so we can keep Kris accountable. But I do have to remind you guys that the lion part of his 70 billion mint will only come after 2026. On the 25th of March next year, only about 50 billion tokens will be in circulation because we're only minting about 1.16 billion every month. Therefore, only in 2030 we can really assess the full effect of the additional tokens. So next year I am bullish, but the question is, what afterwards? Unfortunately, I don't have any crystal ball, and also my A-ball here doesn't want to give me any price prediction for 2027 or later. So CMO Steve asked the question to Kris here if he has any price prediction for Bitcoin or for Zero. But unfortunately, Kris evades the question and he only talks about, well, you have to buy Bitcoin and never sell, like Michael Saylor always tells as well. So he doesn't really talk about prices. But anyways, I think that's a good thing for an actual CEO to not go too deep into his price predictions.
I think fundamentally, project teams who build strong, sustainable, recurring flows in this new market structure will ultimately win. So focus on the task at hand and the price. Let the market take care of it.
To me, these kind of words are quite important as well, because that's also how I assess the market. I'm taking a look really at the fundamental part of the value proposition and not just the daily price, because that would drive you mad. In my opinion, if your cards are right, the price will come eventually. So that's looking good. Anyways, he continues by talking also a bit about the new US administration, because it is clear that Kris has a seat at the table.
I'm really amazed by how much the new administration is doing and how much has been done since the inauguration. The speed at which all this happens, I think it's on one hand, it's because we've got an amazing leader at the top, but at the same time, you've got this team that one could argue this is the strongest team any administration has ever had, I think, since perhaps the founding fathers themselves. So, and more practically, there's just so much that can be done in terms of bringing the activity that is currently off-chain on-chain, like trading stocks and whatnot. I should be able to send anybody here an NVIDIA stock just by sending it on Cronos, right? And we should be able to trade 24/7, 365, anything we want, anywhere we want, at all times, right? Very efficiently with huge capital efficiency. A lot can be accomplished there.
Even though the Trump administration is mainly known now for its tariffs, it is true that this is the most pro-crypto administration ever, period. And also, Trump is advised by people that actually know a thing or two about crypto. So this is the first administration that can really help the crypto industry instead of trying to kill it. So it makes sense that Kris wants to build more in the US as well. And the fun thing about this pro-crypto administration is that they can also try to do more things, that they can try to experiment, for example, by bringing stocks to the on-chain environment like on Cronos. And things like that can definitely also help the Zero token and the Cronos chain with more activity. And while we're talking about more on-chain activity, let's also talk about today's sponsor, Vibe. Vibe is a social media platform working fully with AI and also with crypto rewards, but more about that later. So today I'm going to create my own character for the network, which is called the AI Baron, because also the characters are fully AI. And I'm going to create this character based on my profile picture, but also some other characteristics like the eye, body types, but also skin type. So here it is generating the AI Baron. And there we go, the first version of the AI Baron. But of course, this is just a picture. We also want to give him a bit of personality. So let's give him a quick profile description as well. And there we go. So we created our first AI character here and also made our first post. Interact to earn rewards. Check out the AI Baron and also Vibe in the link in the description down below. But let's continue with the AMA, because the next question is all about what's the next step for Crypto.com.
The first order of business is to take care of our core platforms. So on our main retail app, we need to make sure that we simplify the flows, make it super easy to onboard millions of users to this industry that are just entering for the first time. You guys have, of course, seen that we've launched our exchange in the US, so now we have full coverage, and I think we've made good progress last year on that front. We were the #1 exchange with fiat support in terms of volume, printing about 1.29 trillion in 2024. So we will continue investing in this space, specifically for kind of semi-proactive trader and VIP accounts to further boost liquidity and improve how the product looks and works. So we want to win in this segment. We want to win in the right way. This is a safe venue for everybody to trade, and for people who are not using it yet, I encourage you to try it out. It's pretty good. The fees are very, very low. Speed is tremendous. There's full stability, and this product will continue to very rapidly get better.
Their main focus logically remains on the app, but also renewed focus on the exchange, because recently they rolled out to the whole US as well. So if you are a semi-pro trader or just a beginner, but you want the low fees of the exchange, start using the exchange of Crypto.com. And if you don't know how, I have got a whole tutorial in the top right how to use the exchange. But there is more they are working on.
The third leg of it is our on-chain wallet. So we want to make sure this is the most competitive on-chain offering in terms of non-custodial solutions in the market, and we will actively push it. So there is much more resourcing on this side of things for 2025, and you will see the product improving dramatically. And I believe that we will be positioned well towards the end of the year as market goes back into the frenzy to capture a lot of the market share there.
Many people miss this in the AMA, but this is super bullish for Cronos, because the on-chain wallet is the gateway to the Cronos chain for normal users like you and me. So the simple fact that they're going to work more and put more resources on the on-chain wallet, that is absolutely a great fact really for Cronos, the token, as well as the chain. So I am very bullish on that fact, but that is not the only thing. They're working on even more stuff.
And then we've got the stuff that touches more TradFi world. So stocks are on the roadmap. We've rolled out the basic spot functionality, but everybody's looking at options that is coming later this year. We've got full bank account functionality. We are working on global transfers. It will take like 1 second. It costs virtually nothing to execute. So what are we? Also, prediction markets are going to be very big for us. So what are we accomplishing by adding all these products? We are just expanding the top of the funnel, so we can onboard more users. And as they come in, naturally they will become users of cryptocurrencies, and they will hold cryptocurrency in their wallets. So it helps us drive growth of the business, even in times where maybe Bitcoin price is not doing so well, or there's a small slowdown in our core business. We can continue onboard people in a very controlled manner every single day, regardless of what crypto prices do.
As mentioned in their roadmap, they're also working on banking and stock options as well. So even though they're named Crypto.com, they also want to offer those traditional finance products. And I think it makes sense because we know crypto has brutal bear markets. So during those times, you also want to make revenue on different ways as well. So it makes total sense. And also I think that funnel is the most important for us CRO holders as well, because if you create a Crypto.com app account for banking or for stocks, you automatically also create a crypto wallet, even though you don't want it. And if you create that crypto wallet, if you create a Crypto.com app account, what will you get automatically? Well, CRO. And CRO will also be the thing tying everything together. Just listen here from Kris.
And I think the thing that ties it all together is our level up program that again connects us to CRO, and we will continue rewarding our community for not only trading crypto with us, not only using our cards, but also moving their banking business to us, using us as a platform for payments, using us as a platform for predictions across sports, politics, and many other areas.
More rewards for holders sounds like music in my ears, but Kris talks a bit more about CRO as well.
And obviously, there's also a completely separate roadmap for Cronos, where we view it as one of the key venues for the AI era to build on top. So it's a very, very broad, very challenging roadmap. But I think if you look at what we've delivered in Q1, we've made good progress against what was promised, and we will keep the tempo. We continue recruiting teams, and we've got more than 500 openings, more talent coming in to help us out with it. So I expect the speed to accelerate as we work smarter, and we've got more talent to attack these challenges. And I think all of it will benefit the community.
I think this is a great reminder that we have a separate Cronos chain roadmap as well, which you can find, by the way, in the top right again as a separate deep dive video, because there is a lot of great information, for example, about the AI narrative that Kris talked about, but also about Cronos burns. So check it out, guys. Very exciting as well. And I'm looking forward to really also them realizing things on that roadmap, because apparently they're also even hiring more people. And I think that's on the Crypto.com side. So that is very exciting. But then the question comes, what are you most excited about, Kris? Well, let's hear from him.
The stuff that we think is highly disruptive, we try to keep our cards close to our chest. So there's quite a number of things like that on the roadmap that we are working on. I actually think that the biggest surprises are going to come from the inorganic side of things. I don't think historically we were not particularly acquisitive, other than Nadex acquisition in 2021 and a few licenses, but we're going to be doing more interesting things on the M&A front, and the inorganic build out of the business, I think, is going to surprise the community a lot. So I strongly recommend you guys to keep an eye out and see how this all comes together, because when I look at how the product and the company and the community looks like in 2026, I could not be more excited. It's different, it's exciting, and it's going to be clearly differentiated comparing to anything else in the market. So we are in a very unique position. It's a very unique opportunity. I have not been this excited to keep building in years. It's really a breath of fresh air.
I know Kris does not really sound excited, but this is Kris being excited, because apparently they're in the fast stage of acquiring a separate company, and we don't know which one, but apparently it's going to shock us as well. So guys, I will keep you up to date once we get more details about this acquisition. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. But we do have some final thoughts from Kris as well.
Look, I encourage everybody to just zoom out and understand that we have extremely strong tailwinds for the industry. When the president of the most powerful nation in the world tells you that he's going to buy Bitcoin, when his Secretary of Commerce does the same, his Secretary of Treasury does the same, you better believe them. I think that Bitcoin is going to outperform in the next couple of years. I think altcoins that have strong flows will outperform. I don't know if you guys seen this, but there's a forecast saying that the ETF for XRP is going to attract 8 billion of inflows next year. So you can imagine what kind of impact that may have. And in terms of what we're doing, I think we have a very clear, differentiated, exciting strategy that nobody else is pursuing and nobody else can compete with us on. That's very unique. So we will build it, and I hope you guys join along for the ride, because it's going to be an amazing couple of years.
Kris's final words are kind of a summary of the whole AMA. For example, him talking about the tailwinds of the Trump administration have been a red line throughout this whole AMA. But also what he's mentioning about the inflows for altcoins. So altcoins with sufficient inflow will perform well. And he mentioned there the XRP ETF being one with potentially 1 billion of new inflows. So the question is, will the Cronos ETF, for which they need the 70 billion extra CRO, will it also make sure CRO will get additional demand, which can be very bullish? And also he finalizes with the Crypto.com company trying to differentiate into different directions as well, making it a very unique offering. So I'm looking forward to what they're going to make really of Crypto.com. I've been here so far for already 5 or even 6 years by now. So I'm curious what it will be doing in the next 6 years. And that's also his final question. Will you join me on this journey? So guys, I probably will join him. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more if you want to see where Crypto.com is heading. Anyways, if you have any questions or any comments, let me know in the comments down below. And guys, if you missed part 2, definitely check out this one as well for the 5 reasons why Crypto.com needs to go to top 5.